and welcome to ONNtv Mornings with Luann and Tim. How are you this morning? It's Tuesday. Can't say anything else but that it's Tuesday.
And
it's not hump day. It's not.
But it's sunny.
It is. It's gorgeous.
It's going to be another one.
And you know what? Had the windows open last night and a fan in the room.
Wasn't
reasonable.
it beautiful?
Reasonable.
I woke up this morning chilly.
Did you?
I was chilly.
Oh my gosh.
That's a nice feeling.
It is. Yeah. You know what? You can always put a sweater on, but once you're naked, you're naked. And you're hot, you're naked, there's not a lot you can do.
I suppose so. That's
right?
very true.
Can always
cover up.
Can always cover up.
But once you're naked, you can't go past
that. No, and you don't want to. We'll start with some good news.
There's good news because I know there's a lot of bad news.
Yeah, there's lots of bad news.
What's
Justin Bieber's engaged. Oh.
That's the bad news.
Yeah, is it? Why? Because he's not engaged to me.
It's a little bad news for a lot of girls probably who wanted to marry Justin Bieber.
You know what? There was a time when he got back with Selena Gomez, and the tweets were outrageously mean.
Because the girls were jealous.
Yes.
She wasn't good enough for him.
Absolutely not.
How do they feel about, what's the new one's name? Haley something?
Haley Baldwin is her name.
How did I even know that it was Haley? Just because it's everywhere. I don't really care. So it's just it's in your face.
You know Alec Baldwin, Steve Baldwin, the actors?
Yeah.
That's a daughter.
Which Baldwin is her dad? Stephen?
I think Stephen?
Isn't Stephen the wacko one who likes Trump?
One
of them is wacko. Keith, tell me which Baldwin you worked with.
Which Baldwin did you work with, Keith?
I think Keith worked with Billy.
Billy's the nut bar.
Oh, Billy's the nut bar?
Oh,
then
Billy's
maybe it was
the nut
Stephen
bar.
Keith worked with. He was on a film with him in Sudbury, and they ended up going to a lake together, and they all partied together. And
Cool.
That Baldwin brother is really nice, but there's one of them that's kind of wacko.
Yeah, they've all had. Well, there was one who was taped like calling his daughter a pig on the phone, and
I think
do you
that
remember?
was Alec.
Yeah,
was
so
Alec
I don't know
when he was breaking up with
the mother,
whatever her name is, the blonde actress, Bassett.
Oh, Kim Basinger.
That's the one, or Basinger, depending on how you say it.
Yes. So we don't know whose kid she is.
Boy, did we ever get off track? We were talking about Justin Bieber. Now we're talking about Alec Baldwin calling his daughter a pig. Okay, so.
You little pig.
Justin Bieber is getting married.
You know what?
Our little boy's all grown up. The little boy from Stratford.
When was the Met Gala? Do you know, like 2 months ago?
The big costume one?
Yes.
Seems like about 2 months ago.
Yeah. She was with somebody else at that huge event.
I'll tell you.
Boom, now they're engaged.
Nothing like turnover.
They've known each other for a long time, though.
Have they? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, have you seen The Ring?
Holy!
Yeah.
Seriously?
I don't know.
Tim, it's like that.
Is it? I love big diamond rings.
Me too! I love them.
You should tell Jim that you love them. Because apparently he didn't get that message.
My ring's beautiful.
No, it is beautiful. It's a good starter kit. Now,
Joan always says the second wife does better.
Second wives clean up. First wives get the crappy ring, the cloth good. Second wives clean up. Grab and take. You gotta. That's what Joan says.
That's what Joan says. Yes, absolutely.
She also says, anything you ever get from him, have buried on you. If the next one, if the next one wants it, make her dig for it.
Okay, good. I'm gonna give it to my kids.
Okay, what else? Is that the good news?
That's the good news.
The bad news is we're trapped in Sault Ste. Marie.
We're trapped.
We cannot
There's
get
nowhere
out.
to go.
Trapped like rats.
If you do not drive,
you're screwed.
You're not going anywhere.
You're not leaving town.
Unless you want to walk.
Unless you want to walk or take a boat. Can you take a boat out of Sault Ste. Marie? There's no boats.
There's no boats. You can take a tug.
Ontario Northland, does it travel here?
Does it?
I don't know. That's what Mike says. But
really?
Doesn't it only go north, Michael? I don't know. I'm talking to a man who's not even in the room right now, folks. Stop talking to me right now, Michael.
It's the voices in his head. He keeps saying, Michael, there's nobody there. It's just him.
So the Greyhound bus is as of Halloween. Bye-bye.
Imagine that.
They will be in British Columbia. They have one line that goes British Columbia to Seattle.
Yeah.
That's it. And otherwise, no prairie provinces at all.
Nothing.
Ontario, Quebec, that's it. But not Sault Ste. Marie.
No, Sudbury, west of there, forget it. There's nothing.
No longer. And that's not just passenger, that's freight.
Yes.
So you can't even ship a parcel on Greyhound out of Sault Ste. Marie anymore.
And you know what? It's gotten really bad in the interim because my sister lives in Sudbury, and when she goes home to Espanola for, a family gathering or whatever.
Like you just did.
Yes. She doesn't have a vehicle, so she takes the bus. You, in the last year and a half, have had to make a reservation for a seat on the Greyhound bus, which is generally about an hour, hour and a half late.
Now, and
every single time.
If you're wondering why is Greyhound doing this, I'll tell you. It's simple, money. Because since 2004, for 14 years, Greyhound bus has been hemorrhaging money out of their routes through the prairies and up to Sault Ste. Marie. Because rail travel in the rest of Canada is highly subsidized by the government. So people, it's well-known fact that passenger rail service is not a moneymaker. So the government generally will subsidize up to the tune of over $300 million for Via Rail, but they pulled the plug, of course, on any of the funding for Northern Rail. Which is why we don't have passenger rail in Northern Ontario, because it wasn't making money and the government refused to continue to subsidize it, as they do in the rest of the country. So, Ross Romano.
Calling you out,
well,
apparently.
no, because we had the conversation at this very table for the live debates, and he was on board with supporting passenger rail service in Northern Ontario. So I'd like to see that happen, please. We have no options at this point. How can you have a city the size of Sault Ste. Marie that's the hub of the Great Lakes, and you can't get in or out of this city?
It's ridiculous.
And the highways, and we all know the highways suck too. So come on, let's get something happening here. This is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
And you can't count on, Greyhound shouldn't have to lose money to get people in and out of Sault Ste. Marie.
No, there's something wrong. There's something wrong there. So we need some help.
Why'd you go and bring this up? Now I'm just sick to my stomach, Luann.
Oh, well, get over it. For God's sakes. It's early in the morning.
Was there more bad news?
No, that was
Save it for later, because
you're full up with the bad news.
I want good news. And
All
so
right.
this morning, we've got some good news.
Do we?
Well, I've got some helping hands. I did an interview with the Helping Hands people, and we're going to rebroadcast it a little later on this morning because it's worth hearing about the work that they do and the event that's coming up. So
and
that's
not
going to
enough
make
people
us
know about them. I don't.
No,
think.
I did. Like you'll see me talk in the interview. I had no idea they existed.
Well, honey, we're used to that from you.
So then later on in the show, my friends from Backyard Broadway showed up in full costume yesterday and surprised the bejesus out of me. Can I say bejesus?
And I mean full costume.
Full costume.
Awesome.
So,
like there was a guy with more hair than I even could, like, hit the duck to get in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to run a little clip of them visiting us yesterday. And
it was fun.
Yeah, they do a lot of great work for fundraising for Arch and stuff. So that's what's coming up on my version of the show.
So that's going to be good news stuff.
Yes.
Right on.
And then you have the news coming up.
I have the news coming up.
I'm afraid it's not going to be. Oh, wait. Oh.
What?
How? There's only 2 people left in the cave in Thailand.
Yes.
That's it.
That's it?
They got everybody out but the coach and one other boy. And that was at 6:30 this morning, so they may have gotten the rest out by now. Who knows? Amazing.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
One less thing to worry about in the world.
But now the parents can't even, apparently it's taking at least 24 hours for the officials to tell the parents that, yeah, it's your kid. They're not even sharing who it is.
Why wouldn't
with
you?
the parents.
I would have the parents sitting right there saying, come to me, baby.
But they can't touch them. They're in isolation. There's a whole floor in the hospital dedicated just to
making
these
sure
kids.
they don't have any like
cave
lung
disease.
spores and cave disease.
Cave disease, or that someone will bring in because their immune
Better safe
systems
than
are
sorry.
down. They're worried that somebody might bring in an
Bring in some
infection.
germs and they could get sick. Okay, that makes total sense.
Yeah, it does.
I understand.
Yeah,
okay.
it makes sense.
And then of course Donald Trump now has made his selection for the.
And I feel so confident about that.
He chose a Judge Kavanaugh, and Judge Kavanaugh has gone on record for saying, after he worked on the Bill Clinton impeachment, Kavanaugh has gone on record saying he does not believe that it is a good idea to prosecute sitting presidents.
Gee, I wonder why he got nominated.
So that they shouldn't be indicted. You should not be able to indict a sitting president, according to the new Supreme Court Judge Kavanaugh. He also is a staunch Catholic, and they believe that he is going to help overturn Roe versus Wade.
Boy, that's like taking 100 steps back, isn't it?
And there's 5 of
feel
them
like.
now. Trump put 2 judges in. There's 5 of them now. So the majority of the Supreme Court justices in the U.S. are staunch conservatives. So
we'll have to keep it tuned in.
I'm so glad we live in Canada, even though we
Yes.
don't have rail service. Okay, so
Even though
and no
we
buses.
can't leave Sault Ste.
Even though-
Marie.
You know what? Why would you want to leave anyway?
See, there's the point.
I don't want to
right?
leave. Well, maybe once in a while to shop. But anyway,
Yeah, there's that.
just to go to Costco.
Oh, yeah, because I like when you bring me coffee.
Okay, Mike's yelling at us to stop
Okay,
talking.
we've been babbling
God
for 10 minutes.
almighty, he's so pushy.
Sparishly, isn't he? Yeah, okay. I wish I could hear Mike.
You can. Did you turn off your monitor?
No, I
You're
can
so
hear
smart.
him. No,
Oh,
I said he's
you're
one
making
of your
stuff up.
voices
You're making
in
me
your
crazy.
head. Yeah.
Ladies and
making you
gentlemen,
crazy.
I have to go now because the voices in my head are telling me to leave. So stay with us. I think there'll be more with Luann and Tim. I'll have to wait until you hear what the voice says. But we'll be right back after this brief message from one of our sponsors. I've never said that.
No.
This Saturday, July 14th, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., Helping Hands is having a block party. We interviewed them a while back, and I just thought that it's such a great idea and such a great cause that I'm going to re-air the broadcast now. It's Wendy Gutcher, who is the founder of Helping Hands, and Roseanne Harriet, who's the director. And so let's watch this interview and learn a little bit more about what Helping Hands does in our community and about the event coming up this Saturday, July 14th, and how you can get involved. Thank you for watching. Welcome back, and as promised, I'm here with two new friends of mine. This is Wendy, and that's Roseanne. Hello.
Hello.
Wendy is the founder of Helping Hands, Sault Ste. Marie Helping Hands, and Roseanne is the director of Sault Ste. Marie Helping Hands, and I have to admit, I knew nothing. I knew nothing about Helping Hands until Sandy Holmberg. Remember Sandy Holmberg? She's sitting right there. Hi, Sandy. Sandy was the representative for the Northern Ontario Party. Congratulations, by the way. First year out of the gate, and you guys had a great showing. So, anyway, thanks. Sandy is the one who introduced me to Helping Hands. Let's start with Wendy. You started this group when?
April 14, 2014.
So you guys have been around for 4 years, and I never heard about you. So shame on me. What was the impetus? What got you started? Where did you? Is it an organization that exists elsewhere that you opened a branch, or was this just you, brand new, starting out?
I've always wanted to do this.
Yeah.
Since I was a kid, I've always helped people. And I said the two things I've always wanted to do in my life was to make sure everybody was okay and to be on The Price is Right.
Wait, have you been on The Price is Right yet?
I have.
Shut up.
I was 2 years
You
ago.
got on
They
the
came, and I was a contestant on
when
The
they
Price
came to
is
the
Right.
Sioux?
Absolutely.
And you got up on stage?
Not on stage, just
In the audience.
I got up there to bid on a prize.
You made it to the front
Yes,
row?
I
Even
did.
that's exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, I like to go on The Price is Right too. Did you make friends with anybody? Can you get me in?
Absolutely.
Oh, really?
I know them all.
Do you? Let's go down to LA together and go on The Price is Right. I want to get on the $100,000 pyramid, but enough
Okay.
about us. So, okay, so, but wait a minute. Is Helping Hands already in existence elsewhere in the world and you heard about it and wanted to open? No, it's
No.
you created
Yes.
Helping Hands.
Yes.
Well, so, what was your idea? You just thought, I'm going to
Well,
start...
Since I was a kid, I said, there's so many people. It's my life. It's where I came from. I came from a hard life, and I seen that there's so many people in the world that need help, and I figured, all you need is a heart, and I have a heart, and I believe
And
that.
you got hands.
And I have hands, and I believe that it's better to give than receive. So if I can help just one person once a day, that's 365 people out of a year. Yeah.
Okay, so see, when she came in this morning, we were talking, and I said, she started telling the story about Helping Hands. I got all goosebumps, and
Yeah.
you did it to me again. I love that. How did you meet Wendy?
I met Wendy by volunteering.
You did.
I had heard about it, and I decided I like to volunteer and help people out. So I decided to check her out and see what exactly was going on. So I went there one day, and I walked in, and she says, "Hi, welcome to Helping Hands. And what can we help you with?" And I said, "I'm here to volunteer. I'd like to see what exactly this is about." So for the next 3 or 4 months, I volunteered, and I washed clothes, I folded clothes, I hung clothes, I met different people in all walks of life. And I went home and cried a lot.
Okay.
So many people are in need out there, and it became a mission for me to help bloom Sault Ste. Marie Helping Hands.
See, you're contagious. You're goodwill.
Well, the good thing, that we see in our community, in everybody's community, there's people that are homeless.
Mm-hmm.
There's people that have been, have nothing, and young teenage moms who need whatever items to survive. Abusive relationships, fire victims. Seen it all. I've been there, done it all.
The list goes on.
Everything that I've helped, everybody I've helped, I've been there.
Really?
This is my life. As a child, I've seen it. I've been homeless. I've had 2 fires, lost everything. So when I see people, I've been hungry. I see people hungry. I will never, ever allow anybody to be hungry. As long as I'm here to be able to feed somebody, I'll do it until the day.
So you started off humble beginnings, and now you're at a point where you actually have had, there's a building, the address is on Crawford?
112.
112 Crawford Avenue. So you share a building. In the daytime it's used for other purposes, but in the evening you can run Helping Hands out of it. Is that, am I got that right?
Yes.
That's just summer months. Winter months, it's ours.
Winter months the building is yours.
Yes.
Okay. So tell me what goes on inside this building. What is it that you're what do you do for people who are in need?
We basically welcome them when they come into the hub.
So you call it the hub.
Yes, we do.
At the address again, sorry,
12.
112 Crawford Avenue, which is between McDonald and McNabb.
Yeah.
Crawford
Yes.
runs
Well, if you're
north-south,
going
is that
McNabb,
right?
you turn down Bryan Avenue, then Smale, and then there's Crawford.
Crawford, okay.
And we have a big sign up front.
You have a Helping Hands sign?
It's the Helping Hands symbol is up, but there's a lady that's doing a new one for us.
Okay.
And we thank her very much.
Volunteers again.
Yeah.
Okay, so inside this hub, you're going to find clothing items.
Household items, foods, whatever they
You
need.
keep food there as well.
We have a food pantry.
You
yes.
have a food pantry?
Yes.
Do people who come to you come from mostly that neighborhood? No, they come from all
Everywhere.
over. Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Good for bus routes too. There's lots of buses on both sides there where people can walk there.
Yeah.
We have people that are recommended to us. They come from Sudbury. We had a lady that the center down there sent her up and said, get in touch with Sault Ste. Marie Helping Hands, they will help you. And she came with nothing. Her and her son. She was in an abusive relationship. And within 3 days, we had collected enough for her to set up her apartment.
Wow. Okay, we have to go to a commercial break, but there's a lot more I want to talk about. First of all, I want to see if you guys are involved with local agencies like Women in Crisis and whether you deal with them and whether you are actually connect with them. And then I want to talk about this event that's coming up, which sounds absolutely fascinating. So we'll be right back with more Mornings with Luann and Tim and Wendy and Roseanne from Helping Hands. Stay with us. See you in a minute. Back talking with Wendy and Roseanne from Helping Hands, Sault Ste. Marie Helping Hands, that you formed in 2014.
Yes.
4 years. Let's talk about some numbers now. You gave me some quite remarkable numbers, something along the lines of how many people you helped over a period of time. Did you get to 3,000 or something? Or
Thousands. There's over 9,000 on Sault Ste. Marie Helping Hands that are followers of
on
the
your
site.
Facebook page?
Yes, yes.
You have over 9,000
Over
followers?
9,000.
We're going to celebrate the 10,000
Yes.
person when it comes to that.
Oh boy! So how do you find your volunteers? They obviously people come to you like as you did,
As I did,
Roseanne. And then what about other volunteers or people from the community that can find you?
It generally goes by word. People
Word of mouth.
hear and they come. We have people from all walks of life come in and volunteer their time.
You have students come in,
And we
Yes.
have students.
and now you're registered as a not-for-profit, which means that
Nonprofit.
nonprofit, which means students can then get community service hours if they come and work with you.
Graduation, yes.
Because they need those 40 hours to graduate. So Helping Hands at 112
Crawford Avenue.
Crawford Avenue. We'll have some more information on that too. John Howard Society works
Yes.
with you. They
Yes.
provide some labor for you. Who else? What other community agencies?
Well, we are also affiliated with the MPP, OPP, City Police, Ontario Works, ODSP, John Howard Society, March of Dimes, Algoma Health Unit.
Is this all because of outreach that you've done?
Yes.
Good for you.
Everybody out there wants Sioux Community Career Center, ER
Oh, that's
Consulting.
right. Sioux Community Career Center. They're great in this
They are
community.
amazing.
Oh, yes.
ER Consulting, yes, you can. All the
Yes, you
agents.
can. See, these are
Donna
all
Kinnunen.
great. Donna. Mhm.
Yes, I love her. She's amazing. There's just so many people that believe in what Sault Ste. Marie Helping Hands has created right from the beginning.
One of the things that I always point out too is we all know about the opioid crisis. It's been in the news, it's everywhere, and maybe people don't always connect the dots. But poverty and substance use and misuse go hand in hand.
Absolutely.
Being able to pull yourself out of the depths of despair and get help from addiction, it's so hard to do that if you don't have security in your life. So what you guys are doing, what you ladies and the other volunteers are doing, is providing people at least one more opportunity to get healthy, to get to better their circumstances. You can't, if you don't have food and if you don't have shelter, then how are you supposed to improve your life, right? You need those staples to be able to deal with whatever's going on in your life. So you're helping people.
We're just a catalyst.
Right.
Sault Ste. Marie has been phenomenal in donations. We've had people do food drives for us.
A school, that'd be great for a school project, for a classroom, to choose a Sault Ste. Marie Helping Hands.
We already had one.
You have?
White
Yes.
Pines.
White Pines did that for you?
Yes, one of the girls.
She needed to do a project, and she came, volunteered at our hub, and she talked to us and all that, and she done her project.
She got an
Yeah.
A+.
Sault Ste. Marie
She got an
Helping
A+.
Hands.
A+.
And she got an A+, and
Yes.
I'm so proud of her.
Hey, have you ever heard of 100 Women Who Care?
Yes,
Oh, yes, we
they're part
are
of us now
involved.
too.
Yes.
They are too? Because
Yes.
you can put yourselves in there to maybe have them vote to see if they
They
would
did.
They
But
did?
We have to be nonprofit for 2 years first, though. But they
Oh, okay.
definitely
You're on
are-
their radar.
We are. They said
They've
we want
had us
you.
at their breakfast club.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
That's
know.
great. And, now, and you were talking about Ontario Works partnering with you, Sault Ste. Marie, the city of Sault Ste. Marie,
Yes.
Ontario Works. They've donated, or they're loaning you a washer and dryer to use while you're there.
That's right.
So you can clean all the clothes, the donations that come in.
Well, for years I'd been washing them out of my own house, and I said, people, if I want to go shopping, I want clean clothes. So I said, I want to make sure everybody that walks to my house walks out with something clean. So for years I'd wash the
You
clothes.
ran it
and-
out of your house. That cracks me
Yeah.
up. It's good, amazing.
I know my washer and dryer broke down 2 times, but I said, that's okay, it's fixable. So all these 65 bins of clothes all were sized, and people would come in off the streets and come down to my basement and get whatever they wanted, and and then I'd give them food and household items, whatever I can give them
Right.
to make them, we don't know what kind of, where they came from before they walked in the door,
Right.
but at least I know when they leave, they're
That
going to
they've
be
got
okay.
looked
We
after.
have
Yeah.
no judgment.
No.
Yeah.
And now let's talk about the event, because this is so
I know, this is
much
amazing.
fun. Look at you with your flyers and everything.
Yeah.
Did somebody
This
help
was-
you with this?
This here was our caring and sharing event.
May I take this apart?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
It's yours to keep.
I'm impressed by
Yeah.
this glossy. Look at the business cards. Did somebody help you with all this stuff?
That's from Stone's
Marnie?
Cliff Printing. Sorry, Cliff
Oh,
Printing.
Cliff Printing.
Yes,
Okay.
Cliff
Well, Marnie got a
Printing.
plus
Marnie-
too. But Cliff.
Marnie
Marnie
did.
done these.
Yes.
Oh well, you see, everybody's
Marnie-
helping. Cliff
Yes.
Printing helped, and Marnie
Yeah.
Stone helped.
Yes.
That's the idea. Here we go. So this is the grand. Why is it called the grand opening?
Because of it being around for so long, there's over 9,000 people that are on the site.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people in our community and the surrounding areas that don't know about Sault Ste. Marie
Like
Helping
me,
Hands.
like I didn't know.
Right.
I can't believe that.
I know. I'm sorry. I feel so awful.
So we want everybody in the world to know what this is all about.
You guys are having a street party.
We're having a block party.
A block party. So you got a permit to actually
Yes, we
close
do.
down
Yes.
Crawford Ave, part of Crawford Avenue, on Saturday, July 14th. So right smack dab in the middle of July, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. And you're going to have
know.
everything on the street.
Yes.
Now, and you're accepting donations during the event.
are.
So if you want to get introduced to Helping Hands and you want to bring them some donations, this is a great time to go and show up. And now you have a live band. The racks of clothing are to be on the streets.
At least 20 racks. Of
20
all
racks
different
of
sizes,
clothing of the-
men's, ladies, kids. Everything is clean. Face painting, free
Face
haircuts.
paint. Now this one, free haircuts. No, I love that. That's
you get a
Thank you,
haircut?
Kelly's.
Kelly's.
Yes.
Honestly, do you know how important that is to
Yes.
people to feel good
Yeah.
about themselves? You get a free haircut. I love you guys. Vendors, cotton candy.
Cotton candy.
And a barbecue. And even the food is free.
All the food, everything is free.
So, okay. First, do you take cash donations? Are you allowed?
Definitely
Yeah, we
cash
could take
donations.
cash.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're all going to come to 112 Crawford Avenue. Put this in your calendars right now, and I'm going to remind people. Maybe you can come back on the show just before,
Oh, that'd
like on
be
the
nice.
Friday before, Friday
Okay.
morning before, to remind
Okay.
people. Saturday, July 14th, Crawford Avenue, and this is Sault Ste. Marie Helping Hands. Bring donations, bring cash, and if you are in need, then go meet the. It's going to be a block party. You get to meet other people, socialize. Get some clothing if you need it. Get some food in your
We're-
belly. Get a
we're-
haircut.
We're expecting at least 1,500 people. Like this one here, we did last summer, June
Yeah.
15th.
Yeah.
This one here was about over 700 people. And this is so huge. This just tells, everybody, in our
You hold that, and
community,
then Manish is going to get a picture of this flyer.
in our community, that it's so huge that we are in dire need.
He's coming in now.
Pointed at the-
He's
Okay.
zooming in.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's
Yes.
okay. He's got it. You can zoom a little more.
And I believe that it's better to give than receive.
And here, I'm going to put this one up now, too. Look
Yeah.
at this. There we go. That's the picture for the party. July the 14th. Listen, ladies, I want to thank you so much. Sandy in the wings, thank you for introducing me
you.
to Helping Hands. And any more information they need, you can go to, oh, there it is. They can send you an email if you want to hear back.
We're still taking vendors.
ssmhelpinghands@gmail.com if you want to send an email. The Facebook page is called what?
Sault Ste. Marie
Sault Ste. Marie Helping
Yes.
Hands, so they can go there and get more information. You're still taking donations?
We are, and if anybody wants to get a table now, it's still $20.
So you can be a
By
vendor.
donation, yes.
$20 for the table, and you can have stuff on display for sale too. So
Absolutely.
even though a lot of the stuff is free, it's a chance for you, maybe arts and crafts or something,
Food,
or perhaps
baking, anything.
food and baking, absolutely. And then if you really want to help, you would go and then sell that stuff and then give the donations back.
Absolutely.
That would be great.
You know what I mean?
we're
Like
also
show up with your
trying-
baking.
We're also trying to raise enough money for for house upkeeping, like with the insurance, $2,100 to keep it going for another year.
That's how much you need to raise to keep the house on Crawford
And
going?
it's probably more because the insurance always goes up.
It
As well
does.
as we're hoping out there that somebody out there really believes in Sault Ste. Marie Helping Hands and would like to donate a school that is empty so we can do all kinds of things with it, like put a soup kitchen in the gym and have every classroom going on with something in it.
All right, ladies,
Yes.
I want to thank you. This
Yes.
is then Wendy and Roseanne. Wendy is the
CEO.
Wendy is the
Founder,
CEO
yes.
and the founder of Sault Ste. Marie Helping Hands, and again, Roseanne is the director. Great good luck with this party, the block party on the Saturday, July 14th. We're gonna have you back though, okay? Or
Absolutely.
maybe send somebody else because I'm tired of you. No, just kidding. No, please come back and we'll promote it again. And everybody stay tuned. We have more Mornings with Luann coming up right after this. What a feel-good Monday morning. Thanks for getting us off
Thank
to
you
a
for
great
having
start
us.
and making
Thank
us
you
all
for
realize
having us.
that we can all make a difference in somebody's life just by taking a moment to make a donation, volunteer, help out. We'll see you right after this. Stay tuned.
Sault Ste. Marie is among 56 other communities that will lose its Greyhound bus service starting this fall. The company made the announcement yesterday saying that service west of Sudbury will no longer be there. Greyhound Canada says it's ending its passenger bus and freight services in Alberta, Saskatchewan, and in Manitoba, and canceling all but one route in BC, a U.S.-run service between Vancouver and Seattle. So as a result, when the changes take effect at the end of October, Ontario and Quebec will be the only regions where the familiar running dog logo continues to grace Canadian highways. Greyhound Canada Senior Vice President Stuart Kendrick said 415 people will be out of work as a result of the decision, which he estimates will impact roughly 2 million consumers. The company is blaming a 41% decline in ridership since 2010, persistent competition from subsidized national and international passenger transportation services, the growth of new low-cost airlines, regulatory constraints, and the continued growth of car ownership. He said the company has raised its concerns with provincial and federal officials over the years and wanted to ensure both levels of government were fully aware of the situation. Greyhound Canada has long advocated for a community funding model to allow any private carrier to bid on essential rural services. All Greyhound routes in Ontario and Quebec will continue to operate except for one, that Trans-Canada, which links a number of smaller communities between Winnipeg and Sudbury, of course, including Sault Ste. Marie. Kendrick said the decision will leave most of the affected communities with no other transportation options. Sault Ste. Marie City Council decided the PUC smart grid system can go ahead with a $32.8 million upgrade to the local electrical distribution system as long as at least $9 million in funding is received from the federal and provincial governments. PUC officials are actually hoping for $14 million. Mayor Provenzano cast the single shareholders vote necessary for the project to go ahead. PUC President and CEO Rob Brewer said the project's annual reduction of just over 2,800 tons of local carbon dioxide emissions is the same as greenhouse gases from 600 passenger cars or 6.9 million miles or 420 homes. Also, the generation and storage of electricity will be decentralized. The size and duration of power outages will lessen, and better voltage control will mean a 4% energy savings. Now, if it proceeds, the project could mean $9 million of work for local contractors, 120 direct and indirect jobs, and an additional $250,000 for local tax coffers. If the project goes ahead, engineering work on it will begin this fall, and construction will start in the spring of 2019 with the completion slated for 2020. The main entrance to Algoma Family Services will be closed starting tomorrow. The closure is necessary because the city's McNabb Street to Pym Drainage Improvement Project is taking place. While the McNabb Street entrance is closed, staff, guests, and clients can still access the remaining parking lot from Herbert Street off of Pym Street. Along with the remaining parking lot, a temporarily constructed one is also available behind Superior Nissan. Accessibility to the main front entrance will be maintained and continue to be the sole point of client access into the building. All services provided by AFS will continue, and regular office hours of Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 4:30 will be maintained. Ontario has put a large swath of homes on evacuation notice, emptied 2 provincial parks, and called for help from other provinces as forest fires rage near the Quebec border. The Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry placed residents near Temagami on notice yesterday morning after 20 homes there were evacuated on Sunday as a fire approached the town, along with other fires that have begun in the area. Fire North Base 69, as it's known, is just kilometers from the town, said ministry spokesperson Jolanta Kowalski. OPP said the blaze was dangerously close to the evacuated homes. Kowalski also said as of yesterday morning, there are 70 forest fires in the province's northeast region, with 33 of them not yet under control. It might surprise you to learn that Cedarwood Lodge, which is an interim care and treatment home here in the Soo, is without a sprinkler system. Cedarwood Lodge is located at the old Davy Home building, which later became the Great Northern Nursing Center, and then it closed for about 2 years. Cedarwood opened amid mounting pressures on Soo Area Hospital's budget and the strain of long-term care beds not readily available in our community. Sooite Patricia Culverhouse and advocacy group Voice for the Elderly told ONNTv's Lynn Brown that they're concerned about the lack of sprinklers at Cedarwood. Newly acquired documents obtained through the Freedom of Information Act include a copy of Cedarwood's license, pertinent sections of the fire code, and above all, a sense of duty to vulnerable seniors in this temporary facility. Culverhouse and Voice for the Elderly are both pressing for a formal inquiry into whether or not sprinklers should have been mandated for installation prior to a license being granted by the Ministry of Health and Long-Term Care. Voice for the Elderly wants to know why there's no sprinklers in the local interim, long-term care home, and most importantly, how a facility with a 5-year non-renewable/transferable license that expires in May 2020 was given until 2025 to phase in sprinklers. Culver House feels that her concerns have not elicited a satisfactory response from Sioux Fire Services, and she added that fire codes say the criteria for sprinklers is based on occupancies, but what I'm getting from the fire department is the building codes, end quote. Sioux Fire Service Deputy Chief Paul Milosevic told ONNtv that the Ontario Fire Code and our authority to deal with issues of non-compliance are rectified through our inspection process. He added in his quote, "We issue direction and order corrective action when it's required directly to the ownership group. The issue of licensing is not within the scope of the local fire service or our legislative authority. This is governed through the Ministry of Health and Long-Term Care under the Long-Term Homes Care Act." The Sioux professional firefighters, together with professional firefighters actually from across the province, were on the forefront of a movement to get legislative change, specifically sprinklers in building occupancies where vulnerable people live. Their lobbying effort created meaningful Ontario government policy.
We wanted more good news and we got it. Luann, go.
Woo-hoo-hoo! All 12 boys are out, and the coach is out too. Now they're just waiting out. The Thailand boys, I should say.
Yeah, not the Sioux Greyhounds.
No, not the Sioux Greyhounds. No, they're still
Although
playing.
those coaches come in and go, I don't know.
Yeah,
can't
I
keep
know,
track.
it's hard to keep track.
Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah, but all the 12 boys are out, and the coach is out of the caves in Thailand. Man, some people got to be proud of their effort. Boy, good for them. Congrats, kudos. They're still just like a couple of Navy SEAL divers inside that are making their way out now. And then it won't matter if it rains for days.
And then it's over, and we're happy.
Awesome.
One
Isn't that
less thing to
great?
worry about in the world.
Boy.
And if you want to continue to feel good, I have some fun for you right now. I have a clip coming up. Sally Toivonen came in
Oh my
yesterday
gosh,
with the
Sally.
whole gang from Backyard Broadway in full costume. We're doing an episode of On Point. We're going to do a whole hour feature on the stuff
Wow.
that they do. Yeah, we're going to
Awesome.
probably. So we're working on that, but in the meantime, we've got some video to roll of an interview we did yesterday with Sally Toivonen and Marilyn Stasiak from Backyard Broadway. Enjoy this.
Morning.
Sally Toivonen, Marilyn Stasiak. Stasiak, how do you like to?
Stasiak.
Stasiak.
There's a story there.
Is there, Marilyn? Marilyn and Sally are terrific friends of mine. As you can tell, they're slightly involved in theater. Right now, they're representing Backyard Broadway. Backyard Broadway. Jazz hands. You guys have been doing Backyard Broadway now for how long, Sally?
Is it 2 years, guys? A year
The
and a
whole,
half?
if you could see what we're going through right now, there's a studio full of characters sitting on the floor and in chairs, all in costume. It's quite fun. We're getting ready to do a full episode of On Point, which will air, as you know, Tuesdays through Fridays in the evenings. But right now we're doing our morning show. These crazy people are going to be on later on. We'll tape On Point, but we let them watch us right now.
Well, actually, it's a year because on June the 1st was when Backyard Broadway did their first production on my deck in my backyard
That's
as
how
a
it
birthday
started?
present. That's how it started.
Whose birthday was it?
It was my little nephew's birthday,
Yeah.
and he turned 7. And I had seen the movie 9 times,
You had seen Beauty and the Beast 9 times?
and I took different
It
people.
used to be
each
a
time.
tale as old as time, and now it's just a tale that she sees every day, really. Yeah.
So I went about 9 times. I took different people, and I had in my mind who could cast and be in part of these. So
You were doing what I do when I direct. You were casting a show in your mind to see, could I do this show?
could I do this? Yes. So my last person that I took was Jeremy Wheaton, who plays the role of the Beast. And he was really the key person because if he said he didn't want to do it, then this idea would have gone up with the wind.
So you mean as soon as you saw Beauty and the Beast, you thought Jeremy Wheaton will be the Beast because he is 7 feet tall and, big burly
But
security guard?
he has
kind
a voice. He has a voice.
Jeremy Wheaton
and he sings the
talks
solo.
He talks like this and sings like yes.
Yes. So what happened is we saw this movie together on a Monday night, and on the Saturday he came to my house, and I said, "So what do you think? Would you like to do the role?" He took out his iPhone, played the music, and sang the Beast solo on my back deck. And he sang. He had it perfectly memorized, and that's when I said, "Okay, guys, we're going to do this." So I picked up the phone.
Note to anybody who's watching, that's how you audition for a show. Research, learn the song, know the part, come in and audition for it. Carry on.
So I picked up the phone and I called the Royal Opera House in Toronto,
What?
and they provided us our costumes.
Oh, you can see Jeremy behind. I don't know if you can get the shot of behind us. There's Jeremy in his big costume. Holy smokes. The Royal Opera House?
The Royal Opera House in Toronto.
You
And
rented the costumes from
Rented
them
the
for a
costumes.
7-year-old birthday party?
for a 7-year-old birthday
You're
party.
so theatrical, Sally
Oh,
Toivonen.
it just kept growing and growing and getting bigger and bigger than life. But
When
it was
you-
so much fun.
When you first planned that birthday party, was the intention always to make it a fundraiser at the same time, or was it
No.
just a birthday
It
party?
was just a birthday party, but then the invitations kept coming in, and then before we knew it, we had 135 people.
You had invited 135 to your backyard
Yes.
for the
So-
7-year-old birthday party.
So then I needed food for them. So we hired Ken from Grand Gardens.
Oh yes, Ken and Lee from Grand Gardens.
And they
Grand Gardens
turned
North
my
End.
whole backyard into an enchanted palace. They
Come on.
They changed the whole backyard and made it the Beast Palace. And they had fantastic food and wine. We had tables set
Wine
up.
for a 7-year-old birthday?
Well, they had the
Oh,
wine.
Luann likes those kinds of birthday parties.
And so we had tables of 10 set all around, and we had 135 people come. And then we said, well, you know, you don't need that many presents for a 7-year-old. So we put out a picture of this young man.
Well, that man is Alan Toivonen.
This
That's
is
your late
Alan
husband,
Toivonen.
Alan.
And Alan had passed away at Arch the year before we did this.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, why not change this and have donations go to Arch?
And Alan loved theater and he loved music. He was a
Yes.
barber shopper and he performed in shows for the Comedy Guild and for the Sioux
Yes.
Symphony.
He
and
was your barber shopper for Music
the
Man.
Music Man. That's when I first met you guys.
Yes, and that's when you first got Alan into theater.
And you were Ethel Toffelmeyer.
I was Ethel
he was
Tutler.
my husband.
He was her husband.
Come
That's
on!
right. Yep.
Marilyn, I've completely ignored you for this whole
That's
interview
all
so
right.
far.
I'm used to it.
He was Dunn. Remember he owned the grocery store? Dunn, and you were Mr. and Mrs. Dunn of the
That's
grocery
right.
store.
Oh, he was the done one.
Yeah.
Because J.C. Squires was one.
Yes.
What was his first name in the show? He was your husband. You should know.
Yeah.
Dear.
Dear Dunn.
Very good. Yes. So I shared my husband with Marilyn.
That was nice of you. So, Alan, Arch was the reason. I mean, Alan was the reason that you decided to send the funds to Arch because you were so. I mean, we went out there. We did a segment for On Point. Wow.
Yes.
What a facility! What a beautiful spot to spend
it?
your final
Isn't it?
days, eh?
It was. It was. So what we did is the theme that we had, because this was a children's birthday party, we wanted to raise money to help pay for that pediatric wing that went up. And we raised $2,300 from that show.
$2,300 from a 7-year-old birthday party to raise funds for the pediatric suite.
Yes.
Have you seen the pediatric suite?
Yes.
Me too.
And it's awesome.
Did you know that as a community we raised $3.1 million in 6 months for that suite?
I know.
You know why? Because of people like you and all these people who are watching us and all the people who came to the birthday party and all the people who've brought Backyard Broadway around town since.
Yes.
Marilyn, where else have you performed as part of Backyard Broadway?
Well, we've done Backyard Broadway
This is
several
why I
times.
didn't talk to you earlier.
I know. With all that.
We've done like a lover.
With all that birthday party stuff.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes.
We've also done a performance of Grease, which was also a fundraiser for Arch.
Great. Oh, wait, I was in that one.
Yes, you were. You were.
I was the teen angel.
And you walked all over my last line, I might say, but never mind.
And as we all know, folks, he is no teen and he is no angel. But anyway, he did the teen angel.
God, bring her on my show, and she slams me in front of our 2 viewers. That's Keith and Jim. That's who watches the show every morning. Well, normally we have 3 viewers, but you're not. You're here now. You're not
Yes.
watching. Anyway, listen. I got to go to commercial. You guys talk too much. We'll be back to learn more about Backyard Broadway and how the shows you've chosen and the people you rounded up. Stay with us. Mornings with Luann and Tim. We'll be right back with Sally Toivonen and Marilyn Stasiak and find out who they are anyway in this show, Beauty and the Beast. Stay with us. We'll be right back. So, Marilyn, Tell me about Yuck. Because you said Stacey Yuck, and now tell me the story because it's cute.
Well, I was a kindergarten teacher, and first day you have to teach the children that it's Stacey Yuck, not Stacey Yak.
Okay.
Stacey Yuck. So at the end of the first day, I had a teaching assistant named Mrs. Weir, and one little child went home, and the parents asked them, "Well, what are your teachers' names?" And they said, "Well, I think one of them's Mrs. Weird, and the other one's Mrs. Yuck." So we've been Weird and Yuck. It sounds like a vaudeville show.
You were destined to be on stage, Marilyn. How many? Okay, when did you first start doing community theater? How'd you get
First
involved?
show I was in was years ago, Little Abner.
Wait,
years
which version
ago.
of Little Abner? The one that I did when I wore the pantyhose as the Lonesome Polecat Indian Brave?
You would have been too young then, because that was about 45 years ago.
Oh, there was another version. I did the one with Dory Holmes played Mammy Yoakum, and John artist and John Fleming played Little Abner.
John played Little Abner, yes, and he lost his voice just before the show.
Was you sure this wasn't the same version I did in the 1970s?
Tim Murphy.
I'm Tim Murphy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Tim McPhee.
No, Terry McPhee.
Terry McPhee was in it, and
I was in that show,
Les
Marilyn.
Triplett, were you?
Yes,
You're
Les
older than you
Triplett.
looked, Tim.
And remember Leanne Pearson played the thing?
Right? Yes. yes
I was in
yes.
that show.
Okay,
I was
you were.
Lonesome Polecat, Indian Brave, Hairless Joe, me need him a shave. We livin' and creepin' and doin' housekeeping in big subterranean cave where kickapoo joy juice we make 'em is heap grade
Wrong
A.
show, Tim. We're doing
Oh.
Beauty and the Beast.
It's not about me. I always forget that. Anyway, Beauty and the Beast. Oh, so how you did Grease for a fundraiser, and then what
That's-
else have you done?
Well, in terms of Backyard
Backyard
Broadway,
Broadway.
we just do Beauty and the Beast now. That was when I got involved. They needed someone in Greece to play the waitress in the.
She was by.
You were by the waitress
I
in
was
Greece.
by the waitress.
Okay.
And that's how I
so
got
you,
involved.
You had your extensive musical theater background from your involvement in community theater. And you
course.
brought that to the role of Vi.
Of course.
And you excelled, and so Sally cast you again.
Well,
Well-
I needed her to help with costumes because she was our wardrobe mistress.
Wardrobe mistress slash.
No, wardrobe
Hag.
mistress, no. And
Oh.
then Hag came in later.
Oh,
We
Hag came in
decided that
later.
We've got to find a part for this poor old lady because there's no parts in musical theater anymore. So the Hag, I get to put the spell on the castle.
Oh, you do the
Opens.
whole spell.
Opens
Yeah.
the show.
You're the lady who cast the spell
It
on the
couldn't
prince
happen
and
without me, Tim.
You're the star of the show, Marilyn.
That's why
I
we
know.
have her. That's why we have her.
Why don't you get her a better? You can make better costumes. Make something fancy. Look at how she gets all decked out. and
Well,
you just
that's
wear a hood.
Sally.
That's
But I do wear a wig, like a haggy,
Oh, a
old,
haggy
wig,
old wig.
yes, and the hood comes down.
Show the camera that. Do that and look in that camera. Oh yes, that's spooky.
So, yes.
Spooky.
So Backyard Broadway, the term came from one of our newspaper articles after the birthday party. The newspaper said Backyard Broadway.
Was that Brian
Yes. Yeah. So they named us
from the Sioux
Backyard
Star?
Broadway.
He named you Backyard Broadway, and it's
Yeah.
stuck.
It's stuck.
It is a great name for the troupe.
It
It
is.
is,
It
sure.
is. So the other shows we've done, we've performed at the Ermitinger Home. for-
Ermitinger Clerk National Historical Site.
Yes. And we performed there for Family Day. And we've also performed at the library for the children's program.
Oh, I heard about the library show. They loved you there, didn't they?
did.
Performances
We did two that day, two back-to-back performances.
Amazing. So, are you available then? I mean, can people bring you and hire you as long as everything goes to Arch? Is that how
We
tell me how
don't
this
touch a
works?
dime. All the cast volunteer their time, their commitment, their energy, their gas money to come to practices and rehearsals. We
You
don't
guys
get
do
any.
all that. They're all off camera.
They're
How
all-
nice are you to do that
They
for
do that
Arch?
all from the goodness of their heart and their love for
and their
Alan.
love for Alan
And so
And
we don't.
Sally.
and Sally. I think they
And-
love you a little bit too.
I love them all too. So we don't take a dime, but Arch, all of our performances, all the money goes to Arch.
So, if somebody wants to hire you and the troupe for a performance of Beauty, would you do Grease again if they asked?
Would we do Grease again? That's a question.
Okay,
for that
look, the cast is saying
Yeah.
no. Some are saying yes, and some are. You might have to recast it if you do Grease
Well,
again.
I would have to take a vote.
Okay, but definitely
But
Beauty and the
We'd
Beast.
only do it again if we had you back as our teen angel. I still have that.
I would do that for Arch.
I still have that
I would put,
Mylar
I would
costume.
put this. I would put this the lame back on again
Oh yes,
for
yes.
Arch
Broken zipper.
with the broken zipper and the dance belt.
Yes, Yes.
Okay, anyway,
Yes. So we, yes, we
how do
will.
they find you if somebody wants to book Backyard Broadway for entertainment and also at the same time donating to Arch? How do they reach you?
They can reach me at Toivonen, Toivonen, at shaw.ca.
Toivonen at shaw.ca. Or you can just send me a message here
Yes.
at ONNtv, and I will hook you up with my friend Sally, and we can arrange a performance for you with all funds going to Arch in memory of Alan Toivonen, our friend.
Our husband.
And on that note, I'm going to thank you, ladies, for joining us. Now, this, once again, is just a teaser for an episode of On Point, where we're going to feature Sally and Marilyn and the cast of Beauty and the Beast. You see a lot of them behind me. They're sitting here in the studio. We're going to take a little break now, come back and start interviewing these characters, and we'll have a whole show focused just on Backyard Broadway and all the great work that you do.
Thank you for having
Thanks.
us.
It's
Yeah.
always a pleasure. Now, you're going to come back and be on the show next week to promote a very
Yes.
special show you have coming up.
Yes.
We're not going to talk about that yet. We're going to save that for next week when my friend Sally comes back to join us again. But thank you for joining us today, and we'll be back with more Mornings with Lou Ann and Tim right after this.
Well, I can't even tell you how excited I am that those 12 boys and their coach are out of those caves in Thailand. I'm
Yay.
so thrilled for them.
You've been working with that for
I was.
It's been on your mind.
Oh man, they were in there for 18 days.
Wow.
Imagine that.
No.
They want some rice. one of the kids is like, yeah, can I have some rice? Like, I'm a little hungry. Do you
I can
mind?
imagine.
Imagine that
Oh
in the
my
hospital.
gosh.
You ask the nurse that first thing.
I'm going to work up an appetite after I leave here.
Yes, that's what I hear.
I'm going pole dancing. There's a lady in town, her name is Paula, and I guess she teaches pole dancing.
It's
I think
very good
a physical.
exercise.
Well, that's the whole point, I
Yes,
think. So
sure it is, Tim.
we're going on location, and tomorrow morning you will get to watch me pole dance. And
Looking
you'll also
forward to
get
it.
to meet Donna Hilsinger, who's just put her name in for city council.
Yes, we're looking forward
So
to
what a
seeing
full
Donna.
morning.
Yes.
Donna Hilsinger and pole dancing all in one show.
Only
what more
on
could you
TV
ask
mornings.
For? With Lou Ann and Tim.
Thanks for watching this morning, guys. Have a great day.
Yeah, have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow here on ONNtv. Pole dancing.